key. The key to exercising our willpower and to make it stronger is to become conscious of when you are using it, when you are exercising it, when you are like doing a strength training of your willpower in some ways, rather than unconsciously using your willpower in ways that don't necessarily benefit you. So, what you want to do is exercise self control, exercise that willpower, and you can design your own experiments in any area of life where you want to exercise willpower and consciously go about doing that. Because what happens is when we exercise self control, when we exercise willpower in one area of life, it increases. It improves self control, it improves our willpower in other areas of life. You might have noticed that when you start working out, when you start eating healthy, a lot of your other habits begin to get better. A lot of your other, you tend to have more self control in other areas of life as of life. Just simply when you're working out, you tend to eat better. You tend to have more control in the area of eating. It's really as simple as that. And exercising our willpower, the key to strengthening our willpower through strength training is to make sure first design exercises, design your training experiments, but then also reward yourself for following on your commitment. So, for example, if you design a training or design your strength training, willpower training, where you say you will sit in front of your work, whatever it is, whatever the work it is, for 1 hour, and no matter what, you'll just focus on that one piece of work. You go ahead and do that 60 minutes of work, and then you reward yourself. You make your brain feel good about the task that it completed, about the willpower it executed on, and over time your willpower begins to get better. Other technique you want to use in terms of exercising your willpower is to keep track of your progress, to write it in your journal, to keep track of, okay, today I spent 5 hours, 5 1 hour blocks. Today I did 5 1 hour blocks of uninterrupted time in terms of my work, in terms of my business. And tomorrow, and this is the trend I'm keeping for the last 1 week, I've spent 41 hour blocks of time. Next week I will do 42 or 44 or whatever the number might be. But keeping track of your progress gives you this sense of accomplishment, and it helps you improve your willpower. It helps you strengthen your willpower because you can look back and you can realize that you have that strength now. You have that self control now. So that was exercising our willpower. And now let's talk about a whole bunch of awesome strategies that are basically here to tell us how to outsmart ourselves, in the sense that willpower by itself is not enough to win in our lives, because we need to create strategies that go past our willpower, that actually harness the willpower to its very best, but also at the same time sometimes make the use of willpower irrelevant. And what do I mean by making the use of willpower irrelevant? For example, controlling our environment. Now that makes the use of willpower irrelevant. For example, if you are on a diet and if you have a bunch of ice cream in your fridge, it's really hard to control your temptation. You're gonna probably surrender to it at some point of time in 10 days, 15 days, or whatever. But if you have no ice cream, if you clear your house of all the junk food, of all the ice cream, of all cookies and chips and sugary drinks and all that stuff, there is no way you're gonna have any problem with resisting the temptation, because there is no temptation around you. So you don't really need to use your willpower if you control your environment properly. So that's one way to harness, to actually outsmart yourself, outsmart that need for willpower. Another way to think about it is to go to high level thinking. What you will often find is that when you have a high level purpose, or when you have some meaning, or you have a long term vision, you will endure many big challenges in your life. If you had a certain task to do and you were hitting your threshold of willpower, if somehow that task had a much bigger meaning, a much bigger purpose, a much bigger vision behind it, you'd find that you have new levels of energy, new levels of willpower within you that you never knew existed within yourself. Yourself, dig deep to find those, the why behind whatever you find, that you have much more willpower than you initially gave yourself credit for. And on the other hand, when we are doing short-term thinking, when we do low-level thinking, which is usually how we're going to do something, when we're focused on immediate results, we don't necessarily tap into the same major sources, major wells of willpower within us. So, if any time you're dwindling on your resources of willpower, find your why, look for that why, and you'll find that you might get a